Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for DOGWIFHAT. Now just out on the 4-hour chart, I want to show you we got a nice 5-wave move to the upside. Came just shy of standard targets, 1.382 for the third, and just shy of the 200 for our fifth. Then had a nice 3-wave move to the downside, came just shy of the 1-to-1 extension of the A off the B, but right between our Fibonacci level we would expect a reversal from between the 50 and the 618. Made a nice clean 5 moves to the upside. Had our 3-wave move correction to the downside, again right off the 50. And on linear scale, we actually ticked the 0.618, so right where we would expect our trend to continue from. So as of right now, I am in this, got a really good entry and targeting up around $2.24 to $3 on log scale for this third of the third. Eventual targets are quite high, but we'll have to see how this wave pans out. But we should get moving relatively quickly if this is going to happen, because this move should happen in time, slightly longer than this one, so not that much longer. And I have those pivots right here in time. Now it's just a guideline. It can take longer, but that's what I would like to see. So I took our wave 1 pivot, and if our pivot is in our wave 2, between the 1 and the 1.618 in time, which should be literally a week or two to see how much thrust we get out of this. Now if we don't hit those log targets, obviously we switch to linear, and they are much closer. The third of the third would be expected between 74 cents and 81 cents. So you can see it's quite significantly different. But if it gets a lot of volume and a lot of interest, we'll see if it works on log scale. All right, so I'm going to switch to the hourly chart. You can see we had our nice 5-wave move and we're trending sideways. Have this as a WXY, where we had a flat for our W wave, a running flat for our X, and a zigzag for our Y and our bottom in. As you can see, we came right off our pitchfork, right at the 50, literally at the 1-to-1 extension in green, you can see there. So almost an ideal correction. We just need some follow through here. We can fail at this trend line and come down for one more. So just keep that in mind. I have my stops, so I can't lose on this trade now, and I'll show you that on MEXC. So I'm down all the way. That's that low where we were looking for the pivot. I had my buy at literally 28.52. So I got right in this candle here as a limit order. So got pretty fortunate for that entry. Does not happen like that often. Literally the single, there was 2 15-minute candles. So I got very lucky on that one. And I actually thought we were going to fail. I had my entry there, stop at that low. Well, my stop was down at the 66. But once we broke the previous fourth here, I moved my stop to my entry. So I had some extra liquidity to add to my position. And I was very worried here. But once we got this second 1-2, I added that extra liquidity on the breakout here. So I was able to leverage up a little bit. Now my current stop, it's pretty much a break-even trade at this point. I may add later on. But my current stop is the 66% of this entire move to the upside. I have to readjust that right now. But when a move starts trending and I want to add to a position, I just keep raising my stop to the 66. I just keep pulling the pivot to the 66 when I want to add position sizing. Now, we had a deep 2, wave 1 and 2. Our third wave came to the 2.618 extension of this wave 1 off the 2. and we passed the 1.618 extension off the first 1-2, which isn't surprising because we had such a deep 1-2, wave 2 here. So this was a very deep move. Right now I'm considering the fact that that could be an A wave, and we get a B wave right where we are now, C wave to the downside as a running flat fourth, and get our fifth of the third wave. We get our fourth and our fifth to the upside like so, and then looking for a correction after the fact. Now, one thing about this is I'm just going to let this trade run out. I'm not looking to take profit here and re-enter. Reason being is on some bottoming patterns like this, you can get nested 1-2s, and I don't want to miss out if that is the case. I know it's very ugly, but sometimes when we get trending, we don't get clean counts. Like this could possibly be, you know, a 1, 2, 3, 4, but then we get a extended fifth wave where it just takes off, right? It could happen. So for that reason, I'm just leaving my stop at 30.23 right now on MEXC, the 6.6. I will pull this pivot again and move it up to the 6.6 there. So I'll just keep pulling it up as we move, because once we eventually do get our larger wave 1 in, we shouldn't come back to past the 618, right? So if we pivot here, this would be an A, B, C as a running flat. Looking for, we're past the 1.618, so what I'll do is I'll pull from the 1 to the 3 off the fourth and target the 0.618 for that third of the third. Alternatively, if this is actually a fourth wave, this could end up being a diagonal, and that could be the top of our third, and we come back for our fourth, and then we go. But either way, the bias is up, obviously, looking to break this trend line to the upside. It is going with our general guidelines where we take a channel from our beginning of wave 1 off the bottom of wave 2, extend it out for our fourth. As you can see, that's kind of the area we look for the pivot for our fourth. So we might come back, retest that channel, and then go. But looking very good. I will look to add once we actually get a 5-wave impulse complete, and I'll play it similarly to how I did over here. If we get this 5 waves up, wait for the ABC, wait for the breakout above, and then raise my stop to the 618, and I can add that extra amount of position size. Because I don't do that often. When I'm just scalping, I don't really like leverage up like that, but because it's potentially a pretty large upside potential with a bottoming pivot in, I'm more interested in getting as much position size as I can at the moment than worrying about losing 1 unit, right? If I had just left my trade right now, like I'd be up huge, but I just keep adding to that 1 unit size risk. All right, I hope that was helpful, guys. Looking for either an ending diagonal here to complete our fifth of the third, or looking for our fourth to come back and then go up for our fifth of our third, sideways action, and then our fifth. And if we get very bullish here, I would expect a extended 5th wave in this 3rd wave where it just keeps going. And if we look back previously, you can kind of see how these patterns play out. They get ugly, right? You just get a lot of chop, but we do hold levels, importantly. All right, guys, but DOGWIF hat is looking good. And we fail if this turns into an ABC. We have 1 wave up, AB, and an extended C wave as 5. And if we get rejected off this channel very hard, start breaking levels, that's when I would consider, okay, we might need 1 more wave down to complete. and then I would restart my entire entry process again, which is frustrating, but it's definitely worth sticking with when you see those potential upsides targets I showed you. All right, guys, that's it for this one. If you want the updates on my Twitter, it is at caching_waves. I just repost the videos from YouTube on there if you prefer that way. Check out today's playlist if you want, and thanks for watching.